Yo, Naomi! It's been a crazy long time, huh?
Um, could it be... Is that the world's biggest love fool? How's it going? Is your head still off way up in the clouds?
Huh?
Oh, forgive me. I didn't mean anything by that. Forget I said anything.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it's me, Henry.
Oh yeah, I remember. The dirtbag I divorced for cheating on me with my old classmate.
Why do you have to say it like that? It's been over 5 years now. Sheesh, woman. Give me a break, would ya?
You're right. It's been over 5 years, so why are you messaging me? You here to beg for money?
Why would I do something like that?
I suspect you probably ended up in a mountain of debt after everything that went down.
Yeah, and why was that? Because of all the compensation I had to pay to you during the divorce. I kept up diligently with my loan repayments, though, never missing a single one. Now my credit score's clean and I'm finally out of the red.
You might be out of the red, but that doesn't mean you're in the green. You probably don't have any savings, right? In any case, I don't have a single cent to lend you, and I never will. Bye!
That's not it! Wait! You're wrong anyway. I do have savings. Maybe not much, but I do. What matters is that even in spite of that, I'm happy.
That's a surprise. But it does confirm my theory that you're a moron with his head in the clouds. After all, who could marry a girl like Rita and still be happy?
What's this thing you keep saying about my head being in the clouds? I don't get what you mean. Is it supposed to be a joke?
If you don't understand at this point, I think it's probably for the best we keep it that way.
I'm obviously gonna be curious.
If you really want to know, I suggest you go and investigate yourself.
What the hell is with you, Naomi? I went out of my way to contact you after we didn't speak for 5 years, and this is how you act?
Oh no, are you just the world's biggest victim? Have you heard yourself? Went out of my way? You deserve sainthood. I thought I was making it crystal clear how much you're annoying me by how blunt I'm being with you. I was obviously wrong and you're dimmer than I thought.
Come on, at least listen to what I've got to say. I saw you in front of the station.
When? Yesterday around noon. Oh yeah, that might have been me. I think was around the station at the time, actually.
I knew it! What's going on? Did you come back?
Come back? What do you mean?
I heard that you got remarried, but I guess it fell apart, and you had to move back in with your parents, huh? Tragic.
Excuse me?
Imagine being a woman with 2 divorces under her belt. That's gotta be seriously rough. I, on the other hand, am happier than I've ever been.
Wow, good for you.
Listen to this. You're never gonna believe it. I'm a dad to twins now. They were born half a year ago.
Wow, amazing! I can barely contain my excitement!
Hey, stop being so sarcastic, damn it. You could at least congratulate me.
Congrats. Is Rita the mom?
Of course she is. She and I tied the knot as soon as I finished paying off my debts. And just after that, we found out she was pregnant. Everything lined up for us perfectly. My life is now nothing but a series of joyous events. One thing's for sure, it makes up for all the crap you put me through in the past. I've got a feeling there's nothing but happiness waiting for me from here on out. Sometimes it feels too good to be true, and I wonder if I'm gonna wake up at any moment. I think I used up all my suffering for this life during my relationship with you.
All of your suffering, huh? If only life were that simple, Henry. I hate to tell you this, but I've got a feeling it isn't. Especially after what you did. Can you really call happiness obtained by treading all over other people true happiness?
Regardless of whatever jealous, bitter remarks you might make, Rita and I are genuinely happy together. Our lives are like a fairy tale. A part of me did feel bad for you about what happened with us, but this is simply the reality of things now, Naomi. And you're gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I'm super happy.
Okay, I came to terms with it. Are we done?
You think you're so clever. I understand how hard this must be for you considering what a disaster your life is now.
Huh? My life's a disaster? Interesting. Would you mind explaining what you mean by that?
Come on, Naomi, I get you're embarrassed, but there's no point in playing dumb.
About what?
You might be able to make it somehow if you were only a one-time divorcee. However, being a two-time divorcee? As a woman? From a man's point of view, you're basically damaged goods. Sorry, babe, but things aren't looking good for you.
A two-time divorcee? Would you mind telling me who the hell you're talking about?
Drop the act. It's just sad now. I'm obviously talking about you. I'm pretty sure you understand from the flow of the conversation. You're just ashamed and don't want to admit it.
I only ever divorced once.
But you said it happened again earlier on.
I most definitely did not.
What?
Why don't you try reading through the chat again? You just assumed I got divorced again because you saw me in front of the station and somehow made an astounding logical leap that it somehow meant I moved back in with my mom and dad.
But wait. So you're saying you didn't divorce the guy you married after me?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, what the hell are you doing back here then? When a woman of your age goes back to her parents' place, it usually only means one thing.
Does the concept of visiting not exist in your mind?
Visiting?
I got invited to the wedding of a friend who lives in the same neighborhood as my parents. I lived with my husband on the other side of the state now, so I'm staying with my parents while I come back for my friend's wedding. Oh, and by the way, the wedding was the Saturday the day before yesterday, and guess who I saw there? Rita.
The day before yesterday? Wasn't it yesterday? Sunday? She told me the wedding was yesterday!
Huh?
Plus, it wasn't around here. She said it was a couple of hours away on the train. She left first thing on Saturday. The ceremony itself was yesterday. That's what she told me. She's supposed to be coming home tomorrow. That's why she left the kids with my mom and dad.
None of what you just said makes any sense. The wedding ceremony and banquets were both held at the reception hall of a hotel near the S station, which isn't that far from here, and definitely not a few hours away. If you live around here, it should be possible to arrive and make it back on the same day. Why would she need 4 days?
Huh? What the? Wait, what the hell is going on?
Maybe it's just best I tell you.
What? Tell me what? Do you know something I don't?
Let me make this clear that this isn't something I'm directly involved in, nor something I directly saw myself. It's nothing to do with me, and I don't want it to be, okay?
Just tell me! You can't say you know something then hold off like that! Did you see something?
One of my friends who got invited to the wedding said she saw Rita and Chad in the backyard of the hotel. Apparently they were getting quite familiar with one another.
What? Chad? Wait, that's
right, Rita's ex-boyfriend. My friend, the one who saw them, knows about everything that happened back then when Rita was stealing you from me. She said she couldn't keep quiet about it and told me everything. What a pair those two are. I mean, can you believe it? I wonder if it happened in the heat of the moment when they were reunited by chance at the wedding. Or have they in fact been at all like rabbits behind your back the whole time? Actually, me and my friend already had this discussion. We didn't have enough information at the time, but now I know she lied to you. Her husband, about the day and venue of the wedding. I can only conclude one thing.
Wait. Stop it! Just stop it right now! Don't go making up hurtful lies just because you're jealous of mine and Rita's happiness!
Don't flatter yourself, sweetie. Whether you're happy or not makes no difference to me. Anyway, I told you everything I have to say. I suggest you go off and think about it on your own now.
Naomi? It's me, Henry. Can I speak to you about something?
What?
Rita and I got a divorce.
Oh my.
You were right. She was cheating on me with Chad. Apparently the reason she was away for a whole 4 days was because they used the coincidence they both got invited to the wedding as an opportunity to go on holiday together afterwards.
Oh well, that explains it then.
That's not all. On top of that, the kids,
The kids? What about them?
they're not mine.
Wow.
How the hell could this happen to me? I thought we were the happiest family alive. I thought I had it all.
I hate to say I told you so, but I did ask you whether happiness obtained by treading all over people could really be called true happiness.
Oh my god.
You might not even have known since you've only lived around here since graduating college and finding a job, but she's always been notorious for being a cheating homewrecker of the highest order.
What?
Particularly with Chad, who's known for being just as much of a rat. They break up, get back together again, always breaking other people's hearts in the process, of course. It's like an endless loop.
I didn't know anything about that.
I'm guessing they knew and took advantage of your ignorance on purpose.
Seriously?
Rita's also known for being super shallow and going for guys based solely on their looks. Even if the rest of you is rotten, you are at least handsome, which is probably why she set her sights on you. Oh yeah, on that note, do you know who the real dad of your twins is?
Well, I'm guessing it's Chad.
I guess he's the most likely candidate. Anyway, I assume you're gonna be super busy from now on, what with things like compensation claims to think about. Good luck!
About that,
What?
just as I was getting ready to call a lawyer and file my claim, the two of them fled abroad. I have no idea where they are now.
Wow, seriously?
Not just that, but they left the kids with me.
Wow, those two are something else. Just when you think they can't get any more brazen.
What am I supposed to do now? I'm stuck here looking after two screaming, vomiting brats that aren't even mine. I feel totally lost. I think I'm gonna lose my mind.
Did you try contacting Rita or Chad's parents? They're the kids' grandparents, after all.
They refuse to have anything to do with us.
Oh, I see. I heard the parents on both sides cut all ties with them after their proclivity for cheating and homewrecking brought home so much trouble.
Aha! That's it! Naomi, I've got the perfect idea. How about you raise these twins with me?
That's the perfect idea, is it? Jeez, I'd hate to hear a bad one. What the hell?
Please! You're the only person I can turn to!
Why the hell would I raise two kids that have absolutely nothing to do with me?
Well, why should I? We're in the same boat here.
We are most definitely not in the same boat. Yours is full of holes and you're stranded out at sea. I most definitely will not be getting in there with you.
Just think! Think how happy we could be if we struggle and grow together under the same harsh circumstances. Be mine again, Naomi. Let's walk through this life together hand in hand.
No thanks. The only place you're walking to right now is towards a cliff edge. Why would I throw away my own happiness to join you as you plunge into despair?
Throw away your happiness?
Yes, my happiness. I'm happy with my husband and I have no intention of jeopardizing that.
Well, where does that leave me then?
Not my problem. Talk to your parents or something.
My parents won't speak to me anymore after what just happened with Rita. They said they're at their wits' end and want nothing more to do with me. Ever!
What a shame.
Please, I'm begging you!
Oh, you are? Not my problem. Bye.
Naomi!
How to put this? While I do feel a sliver of pity for the sheer patheticness of the situation Henry is in, ultimately he brought it all on himself, so there's definitely no sympathy. His messages got so frequent that they bordered on harassment, so I had no choice but to block him in the end. A few days later, my ex-husband had the nerve to show up at my parents' with his cheating ex-wife's kids. I have no idea what his aim was, but he was yelling at the top of his voice. Me and Naomi are back together, and we decided to raise the children together. He was so loud that even the neighbors could hear him. Apparently half the neighborhood was peeping out in the window as he banged on the door in a panicked frenzy. I'd already explained everything to my parents beforehand, so they understood what was going on immediately, and my dad called the police without hesitation. Word of Henry's walk of shame in handcuffs into the back of a police car soon spread around this whole workplace. After he was seen by a passing coworker, and he was fired, his reputation in tatters. Eventually, the twins were taken into a care of Henry's estranged parents, who had the common sense to realize that nothing good could come of their son raising children. I'm inclined to think they made the right decision. Can you imagine how they'd have turned out with a moron like him for a dad?
Mindy, I'm gonna have to head out here soon for a little while today. I'm sorry. We're just getting on with our honeymoon today, and now I have to cancel my plans with you for the whole day.
Huh? What's going on?
Yeah, I really want to stay here with you, but a coworker that came to town to help out the company for a little while has caused some major troubles with one of our customers. And I'm being asked to head out and help him, because management thinks I'll be able to clear things up.
What? But why do you have to be the one to go in and do that? Aren't there plenty of other people that can do that while you're out of the office? It's our honeymoon after all now.
Huh?
It would make sense if you were a part of the management team, but you don't even have anything to do with that other coworker, or with the customer he's working with. So just tell them to call someone else and that you're in the middle of something important here.
Oh, right. Well, the customer he's working with now is someone I've known for a long time, so we're thinking that if by having somebody recognizes be there to help smooth things out, it'll calm down a little about the trouble. That's at least what management's thinking. I kind of agree with them, since I've known him for so long and in the past he was a customer of mine.
Is that so?
But listen to this. As in, I'm sorry for doing this in the middle of our little vacation. I'm having you do a 3-hour-long spa and massage course in the hotel.
What? Are you kidding?
At first, when I asked about getting a spot for today, the hotel told me there were no spots open, but just a few minutes after that, they called telling me that a 1 p.m. appointment was canceled and opened up for you. So I put you down for that time. I should give you something to look forward to. With all the cosmetic treatments that are included in the spa course, you'll be all fresh and ready for you when I crawl into bed with you tonight.
Awesome! Thank you so much. At least now I can feel a bit more forgiving towards you since I have something to keep me busy.
Well, with all of what I said, I'll be gone for the day, but we'll try to get back here by tonight. I'm sorry again.
Don't worry about it. Just make sure that tomorrow you'll be up for all kinds of adventures with me. I want us to go parasailing at the beach and then go to some of the nightclubs downtown together.
All right. I'll be back in a little while then.
Have a safe trip.
Hey, where are you right now? You have some nerve for doing all this when we had plans for just the two of us to have that secret wedding. Hey, I just had a good look at your Instagram. Canceling our wedding to go on vacation without me is screwed up. What are you thinking? We have been waiting so long for this chance, and now you've blown it. At least reply to me in some way. Hey, there's definitely a man with you right now, huh? I saw that picture you posted with your arms around a huge-looking man. I'm gonna divorce you and get all your money after this. Just you wait.
Huh? What is all of this? I planned to give you a call or text just after finishing the spa and massage course, but what is all of this about canceling on a wedding and going on a vacation? And another man? Divorce? And getting all of my money? Huh? Now that I think about it, you and I had our wedding yesterday, right? And just after that, you and I headed out on our honeymoon right away. And that wedding wasn't just the two of us there, right? We had all of our family there as well as friends. Even people from our jobs came to see us get married. What are you going on about, Keith? I hope this is some kind of sick prank and none of what you're saying is serious stuff. I'm sorry for bugging you all of a sudden. I'd like to ask and see if this is really Keith's wife, Mindy, on the other side of this phone number I'm texting. Huh? This is Mindy. Hi. My name is Stacy. You're Stacy? I'm sorry, but this is the first time I've ever heard your name. And where did you happen to find my phone number? I'll get to all of that here in just a second. To start, I want to apologize to you for everything that might hurt you with the story I'm about to tell you. Okay. What's the story? Well, I was able to get your phone number from an old friend of yours that you went to college with. And right now, that old friend of yours is a coworker of mine. Oh, so that's how you've run into them. I normally would never ask for another person's phone number without their permission, but due to the urgency of the situation, I had to ask them repeatedly for it. So please don't blame your old friend for giving your number out. Okay. I'm sure that once I hear more of the story and about whatever urgent situation is at hand, I'll understand things even more. But at the moment, I'm okay with you having my number. Well then, let me get to the main story here. Well, today was supposed to be the day that Keith and I planned to get married on. Huh? Hold on a second. Keith and I only just got married to one another yesterday and had our wedding and everything. And after that, we started our honeymoon, and we're supposed to still be on it right now together. And in my case, today is the day we would have been having our wedding with one another. Huh? I'm sure there are a lot of things you'd like to say to me and Tim right now, but we need to do something about this problem first. So before you start to ask more questions, just hear the rest of the story. All right, go ahead. Let's start with 2 days ago. Keith and I both took a bus and went out to Miami, and there is where we had planned on having the wedding. Miami? That's where I'm at right now. Right. But anyway, he was planning on having the wedding with me today, but then he had some things come up with his job and had to leave me for a little while to go back to his office. And so I've been left here waiting. Today, right? And so while I've been waiting all day for Keith, I had time to burn and started talking with my coworker. And while talking, I sent them a picture of Keith. They're the same person that gave me your phone number, by the way, but today was their first time actually seeing a picture of the man I'd be marrying. And after getting his name and everything from me, my coworker told me that they remember seeing a man like that getting wed to you yesterday. This is insane. Now that you mention it, that coworker of yours, she happens to be a really good friend of mine and was there at the wedding. But with something as crazy as this, I thought she would have just said something to me about it by now. I told her that I'd be getting in touch with you and said she could hold off for a bit. Right now she's pregnant. Pregnant? So this really is Jamie that we're talking about, right? Yes. She is going through some things with her pregnancy, and so she felt bad for having to tell me that she knew Keith. But I didn't want her to have to deal with all this right now, while carrying a baby, and so I said I'd handle things for all of us. So that's how we ended up here. All right then. We got a little off track there, but can we get back to how you were supposed to have a wedding with Keith today? Yeah, so to sum up pretty much everything so far, your husband is Keith, is the man I was supposed to have a wedding with today. Keith is your husband and mine. Do you understand that? Yes. When I had learned about all of this from Jamie, I hurried up and called the wedding hall and told them to cancel the wedding. Really, doing something like that is pretty bad since we were so excited to have the wedding. But to make it so that he would lose all feelings for me and not try to rekindle it, I went to the gym nearby and posted a picture of me with a really buff shirtless man. Well, so far I haven't heard anything from Keith yet about that post, but... Oh, I know. What? I think I know how this is all linking up with what Keith was going on about earlier. Were you guys supposed to be having that small wedding today around 1 or 2 in the afternoon? Yeah, 2 p.m. was supposed to be the start for us. So he must have sent me the message he was supposed to be sending to you. Huh? He sent whatever he wanted to say to me to you instead? At first, when reading through all of those messages from him, I had no clue what was going on. I was really thinking he was trying to pull a prank on me or something and would come back to the hotel room a little bit after. But after hearing your story and him still not being back, I think I have a good suspicion. I'm going to send you everything he sent to me by accident so you can be all caught up. Give me just a few seconds. Oh, okay. Please and thank you.
Mindy, I finished dealing with all those problems at work. I was able to sit down with the customer and have a good talk, as well as get things back on track for the company. Should be able to get back to the hotel in an hour or so. But still, I'm sorry this all took so long, used up a lot more time than I'd said at first.
Ah, okay. Good job today. Thank you for sending me all the screenshots of those messages he sent to you. I know that what we've both had to see from him is a lot. But the fact that he has the drive to marry 2 women and had been planning on having 2 weddings in only 2 days while on his honeymoon with one of us, well... And him and I aren't actually married yet, and he's threatening a divorce. At this point, things have gotten way too out of control. Stacy, I just got a message from Keith. Huh? Just to let you know, Keith did say that he had to go into work today, and that all went down this morning. He said something about having to deal with a customer and how he was the only one his company could rely on. I thought that was all a lie at first to go and have this wedding with you, but you haven't been with him either all day, so I'm not sure what he's been up to all day today away from the both of us. Maybe he really did have to go to work like he told you earlier then? Or maybe he's with yet another woman. But anyway, he told me he'll be coming back to the hotel in an hour. So to be here with me when he arrives, do you think that you can come and meet at the Skyloft Hotel in Miami? Let's you and I meet in the lounge on the first floor. I know it'll be a bit of a drive for you to come up here, but it'll help us both a lot. Sounds good. I'll come back that way now. I'll be in a pink dress waiting for you.
What the...
You're a quick runner when it comes to running away from the problems you've made.
What the hell's going on?
What's going on is exactly as you saw.
Why the hell are the 2 of you together? You both shouldn't know a thing about one another, right?
Did you never notice that massive group of texts you sent me when you got angry with Stacy? You were even trying to call me when you should have been trying to call her. You screwed yourself big time, Keith. That's how we both found out. Along with a couple other things that just happened to line up in our favor. I wonder if your brain short-circuited when you wanted to yell at Stacy earlier. Or maybe you're just too lazy to check which woman of yours you're texting with. Right now, the 2 of us would really like to have a word with you in person, Keith. But if you're not going to come here to us, then we're getting nowhere.
Why did you have to figure all this out? I had it all planned out so well.
And I plan on letting you know all about what's happened today. But first, I want to know why you wanted to get married to both me and Stacy. And within 2 days, I'm planning to have your second wedding in the same city as your honeymoon with your first wife on the same day is stupid, Keith.
I had no other choice.
Huh? No other choice?
Listen, I knew I was gonna have to throw one of you away.
That right there is not going to help you get anywhere with us.
Well, look, I knew I'd have to choose one of you to be married with for the rest of my life. But I was having a hard time choosing who. You have a lot of money and work a job that brings in even more. But Stacy, on the other hand, has a very good-looking body and knows how to work with me. And so, when thinking of who to get rid of, I became a bit, panicked. Back when I was dating you, Mindy, I ran into your parents and we talked. And while on a date with Stacy, I ran into her grandpa and talked a bit. I had all you and your families on my mind and started to think that I might just marry you both, have 2 wives.
What?
I tried my best so far. I've had to propose to 2 different women as well as pay for a wedding with both and plan out a honeymoon with both. But I had to make sure that everyone else never found out about this. So since Stacy doesn't have her parents around anymore, her and I were going to have a quick private wedding together to get married.
Keith, can you shut up already?
Huh?
You thought you could just marry both of us? Bull crap. You are only able to have one of us legally, and you have to choose. So here we go. Choose one of us now, or say goodbye to both of us. You are not able to marry more than one person, so you have only those 2 choices.
I don't like either of those choices, though.
Hold on now. You don't have to get worked up over it anymore.
Huh?
You've chosen number 2. Saying goodbye to the both of us. That's the only choice you really ever had after what all you tried to pull.
What?
Our honeymoon is now over with.
Wait a second.
I'm going to need to call my parents now. And Stacy said she'll be calling her grandpa.
Huh?
And of course, we won't be forgetting your parents.
Without getting my take on this first?
Do you think we care about your take on this?
But come on. I want you, Stacy.
Shut the hell up, Keith.
Huh?
After all of this is over, both Stacy and I will be getting lawyers and making sure that you pay for what pain you've brought upon us.
Lawyers?
What you've done to us is not something anyone should be trying to do. And what you were going to try and do with Stacy was going to be marriage fraud, right?
You're kidding me.
Well, I'll leave the results of this up to the specialist to decide.
Stacy? I mean, Mindy.
You and I are getting a divorce with no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mindy.
After that, Keith tried to talk all of this through with Stacy, but it was all a pain in her neck, and so she just blocked him. And an hour after that, for whatever reason, we saw a security guard handling Keith and pulling him out of the women's bathroom. There was a cop car sitting out in front of the hotel, and there waited an officer ready to take him away. There was another woman in the lobby with us that told me she called the police and security on him because he was in the stall next to her and she was afraid he was going to do something to her. We heard from one of the officers that came to take him away that he had accidentally run into the women's bathroom instead of the men's when running from us. And in doing so, startled that woman we just talked to. But when she screamed for him to leave, he must have been too afraid to because of Stacy and me. Well, I don't really care about what he had to face after being taken into custody and off to the local jailhouse, but I'm sure he'd only get a fine or something after explaining himself. I was more focused on making sure that he and I got a divorce, which of course we did get to do after showing and explaining everything to my lawyer. In the divorce, Keith was also forced to pay me a settlement for cheating on me with another woman, as well as had to pay me back for any money I put into our wedding and honeymoon. Stacy did the same thing as well to Keith, so in total, he was left having to pay over $1.2 million to both of us. He was not going to be able to fight us on that, and would be going into lone hell trying to afford everything. And all of that together seems like the perfect punishment for him. I'm not sure what'll happen to him in the future, but I don't care, LOL. One great thing did come from all of this, though, in the end, and that was a very close friendship to Stacy, since we had both gone through the same troubles. Of course, there's also all of Keith's money that we got as well. That's a great thing, but I'm keeping that one a secret. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.